My fiancée insisted I sell my ancestral home because it's old and her friends would judge. I said, I'll think about it. Then I put the house in a trust under my sister's name and put the engagement on hold. When she found out the house was no longer on the table for our future, she lost her mind. I, 34 male, am supposed to be in the final stages of wedding planning. Instead, I'm sitting in my great-grandfather's study, drinking a whiskey, and wondering if I'm about to make the biggest mistake of my life, or if I just avoided it. My fiancée, Tessa, 30, and I have been together for 3 years, engaged for 6 months. She's a lot. In a good way, I thought. She's an event planner, so her entire life is about aesthetics, image, and what things look like. I'm a data analyst. I care about what things are. I thought we balanced each other. I was wrong. The source of our first real fight is the house I'm currently sitting in. I inherited it from my grandfather. It was built by my great-grandfather, a man who started a small, successful milling company. It's old. 1920s. Solid wood floors that creak, original glass in the windows that rattles, and pipes that groan. It's also paid off. It's my only real asset, and it's my family's anchor. I love it. I've been slowly restoring it. The library, my current location, has these incredible built-in mahogany shelves. On one sits the founder's ledger, a massive, leather-bound book where my great-grandfather detailed the house's construction, from the cost of the first-growth lumber to the wages he paid the carpenters. It's irreplaceable. Tessa has never been a fan of the house. She calls it drafty. Last night, we were discussing the wedding budget when she just dropped it. Liam, honey, we need to have a serious talk about our living situation. What about it? I figured we'd have the carpets deep cleaned before you fully move in. No, sweetie. I mean, we can't live here. Not long term. I just stared at her. This is my home, Tess. It's paid for. It's our security. It's a teardown, Liam. The lot is amazing, but the house itself, it's just old. That's kind of the point. My friends, our friends, they're all buying new builds in those nice planned communities. What will they think when they come over here? The kitchen is tiny. The bathrooms are ancient. This is where it went off the rails. Who cares what they think? We live here. I care. Liam, they'll judge. They'll think we're, I don't know, poor or something. Or just weird poor. In a paid-off 3,000 square foot house. Because it has character. We could sell the lot for a fortune. We could take that money and build our dream house. Something new, something clean, something that doesn't smell like old books. She was looking at the library, at the founder's ledger. She wasn't just insulting my house, she was insulting my family, my history. She saw this place, this legacy, as a pile of cash to be liquidated for a generic box in a suburb. I felt cold, a kind of clarity I've never experienced. The woman I was about to marry was ashamed of my home. I needed to know how deep it went. You'd really make me sell my great-grandfather's house because your friends would judge? Sensing she was losing. No, not just that. For us, for our future. So we can have a fresh start, not in someone else's dusty old life. I looked at her, the woman I loved, and I lied. I'll think about it. She brightened immediately. Oh, good. I knew you'd see it my way. I already have a list of realtors we can talk to. She kissed me and went to bed, scrolling Zillow for new construction. I stayed in the library, and I thought about it for a long, long time. Then I made 2 phone calls. The first was to my sister, Qley, 36. She's a lawyer, an extremely sharp, protective one. Hey, Qley. Hypothetical. If I wanted to protect the house permanently, what are my options? From what? A natural disaster? From a potential future spouse who wants to sell it for a new build. She what? Liam, you call me right now. We talked for an hour. She explained what an irrevocable trust was. The second call was this morning. I called the jeweler. We'd put a 50% deposit on her ring, with the balance due on pickup next month. I used funds from my own savings, not a joint account. We don't have any. Hi, this is Liam. I need to put my order on hold indefinitely. Oh, is there a problem with the ring, sir? No, just a problem. Don't let it go. Just hold it. This morning, Qley and I met. I signed the documents, the house, the lot, everything is now the property of a trust. Qley is the trustee. The beneficiaries are any future children I may have, and if none, her son. I am, for all legal purposes, a tenant in my own home. It cannot be sold, it cannot be used as collateral, it is protected. Tessa is currently at a wedding weekend with her bridesmaids. She has no idea. She's been texting me links to $1.2 million new builds all day. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I mean, I know what I did. I just don't know how this ends. I feel sick and relieved. Is that possible? Update 1. It's been a week. Tessa got back from her trip and the entitlement just ramped up. She came home to her own apartment, thank God, and immediately went into full-on general contractor mode. She'd had floor plans drawn up. Floor plans for a new house on my lot. She called me, bubbling. Tessa, honey, I had the best idea. We can live with my mom for the 6 months it takes to build. It'll be a little tight, but so worth it. I found a builder who can start demolition next month. Demolition. Yes, we have to act fast. I already have a realtor coming on Friday to appraise the lot value. I felt that same cold, sharp clarity from last week. She wasn't just suggesting anymore. She was executing. Tessa, we need to talk. Can you come over tonight? She showed up around 8 p.m. And she brought back up. Her mother, Barbara, 50, walked in with her, carrying a bottle of champagne. Barbara, Liam, we're here to celebrate. Tessa told me you're finally making a smart move. This old pile of sticks is an anchor, sweetie. You liquidate, you get that money working for you. It's what any smart man would do. Hello, Barbara. Actually, that's what I wanted to talk about. Please sit down. They sat on my creaky sofa. Tessa was practically vibrating. Is it the realtor? Did he give you a pre-appraisal? What did he say? 800K, 900 at me? I canceled the realtor, Tessa. Her smile froze. What? Why? Liam, we have to move fast. And Barbara, I appreciate the financial advice, but this pile of sticks is my home, and it's not for sale. Now, Liam, don't be sentimental. A man has to provide, and Tessa deserves a home she isn't ashamed of. Ashamed. There was that word again. I'm glad you brought that up, Tessa. I can't sell the house. What do you mean you can't? It's your house, just call a realtor. Actually, it's not. Not anymore. I have never in my life experienced such a profound, immediate silence. It was like a vacuum. You what? I thought about what you said, about how it's an asset, and how it needed to be protected for the family. So I protected it. It's in an irrevocable trust now. My sister Qley is the trustee. Tessa just stared. Her face went pale. You gave away the house? You gave Tessa's future to your sister? I didn't give it to her. I put it in a trust to protect it from people who think it's just a pile of sticks to be liquidated. Tessa found her voice. It was shaky. You did this behind my back? You lied to me. I said I'd think about it, and I did. I thought about how my future wife called my family's legacy embarrassing, and I acted. Undo it. What? Call Qley. Tell her to undo it now. That's the funny thing about an irrevocable trust, Tessa. It can't be undone. Barbara stood up. This changes everything. The down payment. Tessa's future. You financially neutered yourself before your own wedding, you stupid boy. Mom, stop. Liam, honey, look at me. She tried to turn on the tears. This is a mistake. You were scared, I get it, but you have to fix this. Or what about us? I'm glad you asked about us, Tessa, because I'm not sure what us is anymore. Us was supposed to be a partnership, not this asset stripping. Asset stripping. I'm trying to build us a life. In a house that doesn't smell like old books. She flinched. She knew I remembered. Since our future is suddenly a major point of negotiation, I thought it was best to pause the wedding planning indefinitely. Pause. What? I called the jeweler. The engagement is on hold. We are on hold until I can figure out if I'm engaged to you or to a real estate speculator. Tessa just broke. It wasn't sad crying, it was rage. She grabbed one of my grandfather's antique and empty decanters and hurled it at the fireplace. It shattered. You bastard. You're ruining my life. You're trapping me. You will regret this, Liam. We will fix this. They stormed out. The front door slammed so hard a piece of plaster fell from the ceiling. I'm left standing in my creaky living room. I really did think she was the one. I feel hollow. But then I look at the broken glass, and I don't feel hollow. I feel like I just dodged a bullet, a really, really expensive new build bullet. Update 2. It's been 2 weeks since the shattering. Okay, I had the lock on the back door fixed. It was always sticky. I bought a new decanter. I've been waiting for the other shoe to drop. It didn't just drop, it was a full-on boot to the head. The entitlement? I don't have words. First, the dirty tricks started. Trick 1, the office ambush. I got a call at my desk on Monday. It was the lobby security. Mr. My last name? There are 2 women here to see you. A Miss Tessa and a Miss Barbara. They say it's a family emergency. My stomach turned to ice. I went down, bracing myself. The second I stepped out of the elevator, they were on me. Tessa, full-on waterworks. Barbara looking like a storm cloud. Liam, this has gone on long enough. You need to come with us right now and fix this. Me, Barbara, this is my workplace. You cannot be here. This is incredibly inappropriate. Grabbing my arm. Liam, please. I was stressed. Wedding stress. That's all. I love the house. I do. I'll live here, I promise. Just get it back. Tell Qley she has to give it back. Pulling my arm away. It's not possible, Tessa. I've told you, it's done. Don't be a fool, boy. Your sister tricked you. She's jealous. She's trying to steal your inheritance. We'll get a lawyer. We will prove she manipulated you while you were distraught. Me. Qley is a lawyer, and I was not distraught. I was disgusted. Now you need to leave. Security, they're leaving. I left them in the lobby. I had to file an incident report with HR. It was humiliating. Trick 2, the artifact heist. This is the one that ended it. I came home from work last night. I noticed my back door, the one I just had fixed, was open. Just a crack. I went in, heart pounding. I called 911 just standing in the foyer. I walked through the house while on the phone with the operator. Nothing seemed gone. The TV was there, my laptop, until I got to the library. It was tossed. Books pulled from shelves, cushions thrown, and on the floor, in the middle of the room, was the founder's ledger. It had been pulled out, thrown down, the spine cracked. They hadn't taken it, they just desecrated it. The cops came, they took a report. I told them about the dispute. I didn't name names, but I didn't have to. Attempted breaking and entering, vandalism. It was so clear. They were looking for leverage. Barbara, with her "we'll get a lawyer" threats, she must have thought the ledger was some kind of deed, or that it was worth a fortune and they could hold it hostage. They were so stupid. It has no monetary value. Its value is history. I wasn't sad anymore. I was just cold. This was an attack. After the cops left, I sat there for an hour, just looking at the cracked spine of that book. Then my phone rang. Tessa, I answered. Tessa, did you call the cops? Did you call the cops on me? Someone broke into my house, Tessa. They vandalized my family's property. Yes, I called the cops. It wasn't, I just wanted to get my Nespresso machine. I left it there. You locked me out, and you kept my Nespresso. My back door was jimmied open. My library was destroyed. You came for a coffee maker, through the back door, and you tossed the library looking for it. You listen to me, you are making the biggest mistake of your life. We are going to ruin you for this. You have humiliated my daughter. You have stolen her future. You're right, Barbara. I am making a mistake. Staying engaged to Tessa was the mistake. What? No. Liam. The engagement isn't on hold anymore. It's over. I'm calling the jeweler tomorrow. I'm getting my deposit back. The ring? That's my ring. You owe me that ring for my time, for my emotional labor. I paid the deposit, Tessa. It's a conditional gift. The condition was marriage. You broke the condition when you called my heritage embarrassing and then broke into my home. I hung up. I called Qley. Qley? They broke in. They tried to take the ledger. I have a police report. It's over. And I think I need a restraining order. Final update. It's been 3 months. The dust it hasn't settled. It's more like a toxic cloud that's finally moving away. Here's the wrap-up. The legal fallout was spectacular. Barbara and Tessa, true to their word, hired a lawyer, a real shark type from a billboard. They sent Qley, who officially represented me, a demand letter. It was a work of art. They claimed promissory estoppel. They argued that I had promised Tessa a certain lifestyle, i.e. the sale of the house and a new build, and by fraudulently concealing my assets, by putting the house in a trust, I had financially and emotionally damaged her. Intentional infliction of emotional distress, because I broke up with her and falsely accused her of breaking and entering, causing public humiliation. Replevin, a fancy word for give me the stuff. They demanded the engagement ring, which they laughably valued at $25, almost double what I paid, and $75,000 in damages. I was stressed. This is what real people get scared of. A lawsuit, even a bogus one, is terrifying. Qley was gleeful. She called it the easiest response of her career. She didn't just reply, she obliterated them. Her response letter, which she CC'd to the Bar Association for the other lawyers' frivolous claims, was beautiful. On point 1, the house, my client's ancestral home, inherited prior to any relationship with yours, is his sole and separate property. His decision to place said property into a trust to protect his family's legacy is his right. Your client's distress at not being able to liquidate her fiancé's heritage for a new build is not a recognized legal cause of action. It is, to use a legal term, tacky as hell. She really wrote that part. On point 2, the distress, the engagement was terminated after your client, by her own admission on a recorded phone call, which I'd taken post-B&E, attempted to gain unlawful entry to my client's home. The police report, case filed for breaking and entering and vandalism, is not an accusation. It is a statement of fact. The only humiliation present is your client's. On point 3, the ring. The ring was a conditional gift. The condition, marriage, was not met. My client has possession of the ring, as is his legal right. We have the receipt for the $16,500 he paid. And the counter threat. Furthermore, we have security footage from my client's workplace of your clients and Miss Barbara harassing him, causing him to file a formal complaint with his HR department. Should you be foolish enough to proceed with this frivolous, vexatious suit, we will not only countersue for full legal fees, but we will also file for a civil harassment restraining order against both your clients, using the police report and the workplace harassment incident as evidence. We will also be pursuing the cost of damages for the Jimmy lock and the 100-year-old antique ledger they damaged. We await your thoughtful reply. The shark lawyer dropped them within 24 hours. He sent Qley a one-sentence email. My clients will no longer be pursuing this matter. He probably realized, A, they had no case, and B, they had lied to him about the B&E. The silence after that was golden, but the natural consequences? Those were loud. I heard through a mutual friend, who profusely apologized for not seeing it, that Tessa is in a bad way. She had apparently been pre-spending against the sale of the house. She'd taken out new credit cards, bought a whole new wardrobe, and put a non-refundable deposit on a catering hall for the wedding. She is, apparently, somewhere in the ballpark of 30K in debt. She had to give up her apartment and move back in with Barbara. The friends she was so worried about, the ones who would judge, they dropped her. Fast. Turns out a 30-year-old woman in debt, living with her mom, and whining about her stolen house isn't on the guest list for brunch at the new builds. Barbara is apparently radioactive, telling anyone who will listen that I am a con artist who swindled them. As for me, it cost me about $6,000 in legal fees to Qley, family rate, still. And for the security system repairs, it stings. A lot. I sold the engagement ring, got $14 back, so I'm down $2K, but I call that the idiot tax. I'm single. I'm not happy. I'm not celebrating. I'm at peace. This house, this creaky old house, it protected me. I put it in a trust to save it, and in the end, it saved me. It revealed exactly who Tessa was. Last night, I took the founder's ledger to a specialist bookbinder. He said he can fix the spine. He said the craftsmanship is remarkable. I'm just working on the house, fixing the plaster that fell, sanding the floors. It's quiet. It's my home, my legacy, and it's safe. My fiancé joked to my boss, I can't wait to be a trophy wife and stop working. I just smiled. Then I had our lawyer draft a prenup that required her to pay me alimony if she quit her job. Her laughter stopped when she read the clause. And then, I, 32 male, thought I knew exactly who I was marrying. Bethany, 29, and I had been together for 4 years, engaged for 8 months. She worked as a marketing coordinator at a tech startup. Decent job, about $65,000 a year. I'm a senior analyst at a consulting firm, making around $120,000. Not rich, but comfortable. The incident happened at my company's holiday party last December. Bethany had a few drinks, was chatting with my boss, Gerald, and his wife. I was getting us coats when I heard her say it. Once we're married, I'm definitely taking a break from the corporate grind. Maybe do some yoga teaching or start a lifestyle blog. Honestly, can't wait to be a trophy wife for a bit. Everyone laughed. Gerald's wife made some joke about living the dream. Bethany spotted me and winked. Right, honey? You'll take care of me? I smiled, nodded, played along. But something clicked in my brain. See, this wasn't the first comment. Over the past few months, she'd been dropping hints, talking about how stressed work made her, how nice it would be to focus on making our house a home, how her friend Mallory quit working after marriage and seemed so happy. That night, I couldn't sleep, kept thinking about my buddy Terrence. His wife pulled the same thing, quit her job 3 months after the wedding, never went back. Now he works 70-hour weeks to maintain their lifestyle while she posts smoothie bowls on Instagram. 2 days later, I made an appointment with a family lawyer. Not to cancel the wedding. I loved Bethany, but I needed protection. The prenup draft was beautiful. Standard asset protection stuff, but with one special clause. If either party voluntarily leaves employment or reduces their income by more than 40% without the written consent of the other spouse, they become responsible for paying spousal support calculated at 35% of their last documented annual salary for a period of 3 years in case of divorce. Basically, you quit your job to be a trophy spouse, you pay ME alimony. Brought it up casually at dinner the next week. Hey babe, my financial advisor suggested we do a prenup. Just standard stuff to protect both of us. Bethany laughed. Sure. I mean, we're never getting divorced anyway, right? Right? I'll have the lawyer send it over. Update 1. 3 weeks passed. Bethany finally got around to reading the prenup. I was making coffee on a Saturday morning when I heard her shriek from the home office. What the hell is this? She stormed into the kitchen, laptop in hand, face red. This employment clause. What is this about? I stayed calm, kept making my coffee. Which clause? The one that says I have to pay you if I stop working. Are you insane? It says if either of us stops working without the other's consent, it protects both of us. From what? From me being a homemaker? From starting a family? The clause has exceptions for medical leave, caring for children under 5, or mutual agreement. Did you read that part? She hadn't. This is insulting. You think I'm some gold digger? No. I think you've been talking a lot about not working lately. At the holiday party, you literally told my boss you wanted to be a trophy wife. That was a joke. Was it though? What about all the comments about Mallory? About being stressed? About wanting to make our house a home? She went quiet. Then the tears started. I can't believe you don't trust me. Maybe we shouldn't get married if you think so little of me. I stayed calm. I love you, Bethany, but I'm not comfortable being someone's sole financial support by surprise. If we mutually decide you should stop working, that's different. This just ensures we make that decision together. She stormed off. Silent treatment for 3 days. Then her mom called. Update 2. Dorothy, Bethany's mom, invited me to lunch. I knew what was coming. Sweetie, she started, over salads at some overpriced place. Bethany is very hurt. I understand. This prenup thing. It's so cold, so unromantic. Marriage is about trust. It's also about partnership and communication and not making unilateral decisions that affect both people. She frowned. Women have sacrificed careers for families forever. It's natural. Having kids is one thing. The prenup has exceptions for that. But Bethany doesn't want to stop working to raise kids. She's told me repeatedly she wants to wait at least 5 years for children. She wants to stop working because she doesn't like her job. And what's wrong with that? You make good money. Dorothy, I make $120. After taxes, that's maybe $85. Our mortgage, cars, and basic expenses run about $70 a year. That leaves $15 for everything else. Savings, emergencies, vacation, retirement. We can't live on one income unless we drastically change our lifestyle. But surely with raises, I ran the numbers. Even with promotions, supporting 2 people on 1 income means no retirement savings, no vacations, no cushion. I'd be 1 layoff from disaster, while Bethany does yoga and blogs. She looked offended. That's a very cynical view. It's a realistic one. If Bethany wants to change careers, I support that. If she wants to go back to school, start a business, whatever, we can plan for it together. But this fantasy of just stopping? Not happening. Dorothy left in a huff. That night, Bethany came home with her dad, Jerome. "Son," he said, sitting on our couch like he owned it, "let's man-to-man this. The prenup is unnecessary. You're scaring my daughter." "Jerome, did Bethany tell you she's been planning to quit her job after the wedding?" He shifted. "She mentioned maybe taking some time. Did she mention she hasn't saved a dime for this time off? That she's assuming I'll cover everything?" Silence. The prenup protects both of us. If I decided to quit my job to pursue my passion for woodworking, Bethany would be protected too. That's different. You're the man. And there it was, the real issue. "Jerome, it's 2024. Your daughter has a college degree and a career. If she wants to walk away from that, it needs to be a mutual decision, not an ambush." They left. Bethany stayed at her parents' that night. Update 3. Bethany came back 2 days later with a counterproposal. She'd hired her own lawyer. "Okay," she said, sitting at our kitchen table with printed pages. "I'll sign a prenup, but not this one." Her version: she could leave work any time after 2 years of marriage with no penalties. I would support her for any career transition period up to 2 years. If we divorced, standard alimony would apply based on lifestyle during marriage. I laughed. Actually laughed. "Bethany, this is worse than no prenup at all. This literally guarantees you can quit and I have to pay for it. It's compromise." "No, it's exactly what you plan to do anyway, just in writing." "You're being unreasonable." "Am I? Let me ask you something. What would you do if you quit your job specifically?" "I told you, maybe teach yoga, start a blog." "Have you looked into yoga certification? It costs $3 to $5K. Have you saved for it?" Silence. "Have you researched blogging? Built an audience? Learned about monetization?" More silence. "So your plan is, quit job, figure it out later while I pay for everything?" When you say it like that, how else should I say it? She started crying again. But this time something shifted. She actually looked thoughtful. "I hate my job," she admitted quietly. "I know, and I want to help you find something better, but quitting with no plan isn't the answer." Mallory did it. Mallory's husband makes $400K a year. We're not them. We talked for hours, really talked. About finances, about dreams, about reality. I showed her our budget, our actual numbers. She was shocked at how little wiggle room we had. I thought, you always pay for things, because I make more. But I'm not rich, Bethany. I'm middle class. We're middle class. She agreed to think about it. Update 4. A week before our wedding venue deposit deadline, Bethany still hadn't signed the prenup. But she'd started acting different. She was suddenly very interested in wedding planning. Like, obsessively. Venues that cost $40K, dresses that cost $12K, flowers that cost more than my car. "Where's this money coming from?" I asked. "We'll figure it out. People take loans for weddings all the time." Red flag city. Then, I found out from her coworker Jenna that Bethany had been interviewing for other jobs. But here's the kicker. She was intentionally bombing them. She told the last interviewer she couldn't work Mondays because of her aura cleansing schedule. Jenna told me at happy hour. She's trying to get fired to collect unemployment. That night, I confronted her. "You're trying to get fired?" She went pale. "Who told you that?" "Doesn't matter. Is it true? Maybe if I got laid off, we could use that time for me to figure things out. While collecting unemployment fraudulently? It's not fraud if they fire me." "Bethany, what the hell is going on? This isn't you." She broke down. The real story came out. Her friend group, Mallory and 3 others, all had this life plan. Get married to guys with good jobs, quit working, become wellness influencers or whatever. They had a WhatsApp group called Trophy Wives in Training. She showed me the messages. It was illuminating. Mallory, just cry a lot about stress. Men can't handle tears. Another friend, mine, bought the yoga studio story completely. Already put in my notice. Mine wants a prenup with some employment clause. Help. Mallory refused to sign. If he loves you, he'll cave. I looked at Bethany. You've been planning this the whole time? No, not exactly. I love you. But they made it sound so easy, so appealing. To con me into supporting you? Not con. Just, why should I work a job I hate when you could support us both? Because I don't want to? Because that's not the partnership I signed up for? She got defensive. So you'd rather I be miserable? I'd rather you be honest and adult and find a job you don't hate instead of expecting me to bankroll your Instagram fantasy. I gave her the ultimatum. Sign the original prenup or the wedding is off. The venue deposit deadline was in 72 hours. Update 5. Bethany went nuclear. First, she called my mom, told her I was financially abusing her, controlling her, forcing her to work. My mom, bless her, said, "Good for him." My husband tried to pull that retirement nonsense at 40, and I shut that down real quick. Then she posted on Facebook. Not directly about me, but vague posts about when someone shows you who they really are. And real men provide for their families. Her friends piled on. Mallory commented, "You deserve someone who values you as more than a paycheck." The irony was completely lost on them. But the real explosion came when she tried to guilt me with the deposits we'd already put down. "We'll lose $5,000 if we cancel now," she wailed. "Better than losing $50,000 a year for the rest of my life. You're really gonna throw us away over money? You're really gonna throw us away over not wanting to work?" She tried everything. Love bombing. Cooked elaborate dinners. Wore the lingerie I liked. Threats. "I'll tell everyone you're abusive." Bargaining. "What if I only work part-time?" More tears. So many tears. Her dad called again. This time, different energy. "Look, just sign the damn paper without the employment clause and marry my daughter." "No. I'll pay for the whole wedding if you do." "Jerome, are you trying to bribe me to marry your daughter without protection?" "I'm trying to solve this problem. The problem is your daughter thinks she's entitled to a free ride. You offering to pay for an expensive wedding kind of explains why she thinks that." He hung up on me. 48 hours before the deadline, Bethany's mom showed up with a new proposal. "What if we put money in a trust for Bethany, like a salary for being a wife?" I stared at her. "Dorothy, do you hear yourself? It's not crazy. She'd be keeping house, supporting your career. We have a 2-bedroom apartment. It takes 4 hours a week to clean. I do my own laundry. We eat out half the time. What exactly would she be doing for this salary?" She couldn't answer. 24 hours before the deadline, Bethany signed the prenup. Update 6. She signed it, but she wasn't happy. The next morning she threw it at me. "They're happy? I'm trapped now." Trapped into keeping a job, like 99% of adults. "You don't understand the pressure women face. To work like men." She moved in with Mallory for a spa week to recover from the trauma. I used the time to think. Did I want to marry someone who saw me as a meal ticket? Who'd been actively planning to deceive me? Who only signed the prenup under duress? I called my lawyer. If I call off the wedding now, what's my exposure? Minimal. She has no claims on anything. You'd lose deposits, but that's it. I sat with that for 3 days. Then Bethany came home. But she wasn't alone. She brought Mallory, and a guy I'd never seen before. "This is Trevor," Bethany announced. Mallory's lawyer. Trevor looked about 25 and uncomfortable. I'm actually just in law school. He says the prenup might not be enforceable because I signed under duress." I looked at Trevor. "Did you tell her that?" "I mentioned that duress can sometimes, but she'd need to prove." "Get out of my apartment. You can't kick us out." Mallory shrieked. "We're here to support Bethany." "Mallory, you're trespassing. Leave." Trevor, "Giving legal advice without a license is illegal. Leave." "Bethany, we need to talk. Alone." They left, Mallory shouting about toxic masculinity the whole way. Bethany and I sat in silence for a long moment. "I don't want to marry you," I said finally. She didn't even look surprised. "Because I won't be your slave? Because you see working as slavery and me as your escape route? Because you've been planning to deceive me? Because you need your friends and parents to fight your battles? Because you think you're entitled to my money? It would be our money. No, it would be my earnings that you'd spend, while contributing nothing. Keeping a home is contributing." "What home? This apartment? That takes 2 hours to clean, where we don't even cook most nights? Stop pretending this is about being a homemaker. You want to be unemployed. There's a difference." She started to argue, then just deflated. I hate working, she said quietly. Most people do. That's why they call it work, not fun. Mallory doesn't have to. Then marry Mallory's husband. We called off the wedding that night. She moved out a week later. Final update. The aftermath was brutal for about a month. Bethany told everyone I was financially abusive, controlling, probably gay. That was a weird addition. Her friends harassed me on social media until I blocked them all. Her parents threatened to sue me for breach of promise until my lawyer sent them a nice letter explaining that's not a thing anymore. But here's where it gets interesting. I ran into Jenna, Bethany's former coworker, at a coffee shop last month. She filled me in on the drama. Bethany did get fired, but not for the reasons she wanted. Turns out, actively trying to get fired by being terrible at your job just gets you fired for cause. No unemployment benefits. She moved back in with her parents. Lasted about 2 weeks before they told her to get a job or get out. She's now working retail at a department store, making about $30K a year. Mallory's life imploded too. Her husband found their trophy wives in training WhatsApp group when she left her phone unlocked. He filed for divorce. Turns out, he'd been recording her admission that she only married him for money. She got nothing in the divorce. Prenup held up beautifully. The other 2 friends in the group, one's husband saw Mallory's divorce drama and got spooked, made his wife get a job. The other actually succeeded in her plan, for about 6 months. Then her husband's startup failed, and suddenly she had to return to work anyway. Reality has a way of doing that. Bethany reached out once, about 3 months ago. Long email about how she'd been influenced by toxic friends and lost sight of what mattered, and could we try again? I replied, no. Good luck with everything. She responded with a paragraph about how I'd destroyed her life. I didn't reply. I'm dating someone new now. Amy's a financial analyst at a different firm. Makes more than I do, actually. When I mentioned maybe doing a prenup if things get serious, she said, obviously. Only idiots get married without one. I think I'm in love. Oh, and the best part? I used the wedding venue deposit we lost as a tax write-off for education expenses, because I definitely learned something worth $5,000. When someone tells you they want to be a trophy wife, believe them, and run. P.S. Bethany, I know you stalked my Reddit. Yes, this is about you. No, I don't regret a thing. Yes, Amy is prettier than you. No, we won't be inviting you to our wedding. Stop texting my mom asking about me. It's weird. PPS, to everyone asking, yes, the prenup template I used is saved in my Google Drive. No, I won't share it publicly. Get your own lawyer, but definitely get one. Mallory, if you're reading this, your husband's lawyer contacted me for a deposition. I told him everything. Sorry, not sorry. Maybe get a job? My fiancé laughed at the bar. He thinks this ring is real. I'm keeping the diamond he actually bought. I smiled and said, good one. Then I called my insurance company, reported the real diamond stolen, and showed them the video of her bragging. The call I got from the police detective. I, 34 male, am a structural engineer. My job is to find flaws in designs before they become catastrophes. I analyze stress points. I calculate load capacities. I deal in absolutes. 6 months ago, I proposed to my girlfriend of 4 years, Bianca, 30. I spent over a year saving. I did the research. I found a jeweler. The stone was a 2.2 carat E-color VVS1 round brilliant. The setting was a simple, elegant platinum band. The total cost was $38,450. The moment the GIA certificate and appraisal were in my hand, I had the ring added to my valuable personal property, VPP insurance policy. It's a rider on my condo insurance. Costs about $400 a year. My name, my policy, my asset. The proposal was perfect. She cried. She said yes. She loved the ring. It's too much, she'd say, flashing it. I'm almost scared to wear it. I should have listened closer. Fast forward to last night. Friday, we were out for celebratory drinks with our crews. My best friend Joel was there. Her best friend Keisha was there. We were at a loud, trendy bar. Joel and I went to the bar to grab a round. Bianca and Keisha were at a high top table about 10 feet away. The music dipped and their voices carried. I heard Keisha shriek, "B, I cannot believe it. It looks exactly the same." I froze. Joel glanced at me. I just listened. Bianca let out that high, tinkling laugh I used to think was charming. I know, right? It's a top-grade moissanite, $1,200. He hasn't suspected a thing in 2 months. But the real one? Where is it? In my personal safe deposit box, obviously. It's an investment. Why would I wear a $38,000 asset on my finger where I could lose it or chip it or get mugged? This is so much smarter. My blood pressure dropped to 0. I felt cold. But, what? You're just keeping it? He'll never know. He thinks this ring is real. I'm keeping the diamond he actually bought. This way, I get the ring I get to show off, and I have a $38 nest egg he paid for. Honestly, he's sweet, but he's a total dope. He'd never think to check. Joel was just staring at me. His face was pale. I looked at him, and he slowly raised his phone, which he'd been using to take a video of the bar's vibe. He'd been recording for about 45 seconds. He'd captured the entire exchange. The audio was crystal clear. I turned. I picked up the 4 drinks. I walked over to their table. "You guys having fun?" I asked, putting the drinks down. Bianca looked up, all smiles, and flashed the fake ring at me. "The best time, honey. We were just talking about how much I love this." I smiled. "Good one," I said. I sat with them for another hour. I laughed. I talked about wedding venues. I was a perfect, supportive, dopey fiancé. Inside, I was calculating. Stress points, load capacities, a catastrophic failure. I took a separate Uber home to my condo. Bianca keeps her own apartment, thank God. I told her I had an early morning site inspection. "I love you," she called out. "Love you too," I said. I got home. I poured a very large glass of whiskey. I watched Joel's video. 10 times. Her laugh, he's a total dope. The switch flipped. My grief, my hurt, my humiliation, it all just solidified into concrete. My job is to deal with structural failure, and this was a 5-alarm failure. At 11:05 p.m. I opened my laptop. I pulled up my insurance policy. I found the 24/7 claims hotline. I dialed. "Hello, this is Brenda. How can I help you?" "Hello, Brenda. I need to file a claim on my VPP policy. I need to report a theft." "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. What was stolen, sir?" "A 2.2-carat diamond. GIA serial number." I read it off the certificate. It was expertly removed from its setting and replaced with a fake stone, a moissanite. Brenda was silent for a long beat. "Sir, do you have any idea who might have done this? A jeweler? A cleaner?" "Yes," I said, taking a sip of whiskey. "I know exactly who did it. It was my fiancée, Bianca. She did it 2 months ago. She has the stone hidden in a safe deposit box." Another long silence. "Sir," Brenda said, her voice completely different. This isn't a standard claim. This is a criminal matter. If you are accusing a specific person of felony theft, you must file a police report. We cannot and will not proceed with a claim of this magnitude, especially involving a domestic partner, without an official police report and an active investigation." "I understand," I said. "We will also need any and all evidence you have. Do you have any proof of this?" I looked at the video file on my desktop. "Yes, Brenda," I said. "I have a video of her, at a bar, bragging to her friend about how she did it, how she has the stone, and how I'm a total dope for not noticing." I have never heard an insurance agent gasp before. "Okay," she said. "File the police report immediately. Get the report number. Then call us back. An investigator from our fraud department will be in touch on Monday. Do not confront the accused. Do not try to retrieve the property. This is a police matter now." I hung up. I stared at the wall for 10 minutes. This was the point of no return. She didn't just break my heart. She didn't just betray me. She stole from me. She committed a calculated, premeditated felony. And she laughed about it. At 11:30 p.m., I called the police non-emergency line. I need to file a report for grand larceny. My life as I knew it was over. The life I thought I had. Anyway, time to start the demolition. Update 1. It's been an explosive week. Thanks for all the comments. For those who said just dump her and ask for the ring back, you're missing the point. She didn't lose it, she stole it. She swapped it with a fake and bragged about her investment. That's not a breakup, that's a crime. So, the morning after I called the non-emergency line, a patrol officer came to my condo. He was skeptical. "A stolen diamond, sir? But your fiancée still has the ring?" "Officer, she has a ring. She does not have the diamond. She replaced it with a fake. Here is the GIA certificate for the 2.2-carat stone, which is laser inscribed. Here is the receipt for $38,450, and here..." I airdropped Joel's video to him. He watched it. His eyebrows went up. He watched it again. Okay, she says her full name in that? And her friends? Yes, Bianca and Tisha. Clear as day. He sighed. This is a detective's case. You're accusing your fiancé of grand larceny. This is a felony. You get that, right? This isn't we had a fight. This is a life-altering accusation. I'm an engineer, officer. I don't deal in ambiguity. She stole a $38,000 asset. I am the victim of a theft. I am here to report it. He took my statement. He took the video. He gave me a report number. I immediately called my insurance provider, gave them the report number. They assigned a special investigator, a guy named Frank, who sounded like he'd seen it all. Frank was very interested in the video. The rest of the day was silent. I didn't hear from Bianca. I assumed she was just living her life, wearing my $1,200 fake. The call I'd been waiting for came the next afternoon. Mr. Victor's last name? This is Detective Mills. I've been assigned your case regarding a stolen diamond. His voice was tired, and again, skeptical. Hello, detective. Thanks for calling. Look, son, I'm gonna be honest. This is a domestic dispute. 99% of these are he said, she said breakups, where someone's trying to get the other in trouble. Are you sure you want to pursue this? You're saying she stole a rock out of a ring? And you know where it is. Detective, with all due respect, did you watch the video I submitted? I'm watching it right now. She's bragging about it. Yes, she is. She calls it her 38K nest egg and calls me a total dope. This isn't a dispute. This is a confession. I heard him typing. She mentions a safe deposit box. Do you know what bank? I have no idea, but she does. That's why I called you. Right, he said, his tone shifting. Okay, we're going to go have a conversation with Ms. Bianca. I'll be in touch. 2 hours later, my phone exploded. Texts from Bianca, missed calls, voicemails. Bianca, Victor, what the hell did you do? 2 detectives just left my apartment. They asked me about the ring. They asked me about my safe deposit box. You sent the cops to my house? Are you insane? Call me. Now you are ruining my life over a stupid joke. I let her spiral for an hour. Then I texted back. It wasn't a joke, Bianca. It was theft. I filed a police report. She called instantly. I answered. You psycho, she screamed. A joke. It was a joke. You were there. You heard me. You said good one. You knew I was kidding. No, I said, my voice dead calm. I didn't know. Where is the diamond, Bianca? It's safe. Oh my God, you're unbelievable. I was protecting it. I was so scared I'd lose it, so I got the moissanite to wear. I was going to tell you. When? After the wedding? When you had a $38 nest egg that I paid for? I can't believe you're doing this. This is abuse, Victor. You're using the police to harass me. This is very simple. You stole from me. Give the diamond back, and I will tell the detective you returned it. It's that easy. Fine. God, I'll give it back, but you'd better call them off. And you're paying me back for the moissanite. It was $1,200, and for my therapy, I'm having a panic attack. The entitlement. It was breathtaking. She was still trying to profit. No, I'm not paying for the tool you used to commit fraud, and I'm not calling anyone off. Bring the real diamond in its GIA-certified case to the 14th precinct. I'll meet you there. The detective can verify it's the right stone, and we can be done. I am not going to a police station. Are you crazy? You're trying to have me arrested. I'll bring it to your condo. Nope, the precinct. That's the only way. Otherwise, Detective Mills is getting a warrant for every safe deposit box under your name. I hate you. You're a monster. She hung up. 30 minutes later, her mother Celeste called. Victor, darling, she said, her voice dripping with poison. I have just had a hysterical phone call from my daughter. I cannot believe you would do this. After all the stress she's been under planning your wedding, you have embarrassed her. You have embarrassed me. Celeste, Bianca stole a $38,000 diamond from me. She protected it. She is a frugal, smart girl, and she was protecting your shared asset. You should be thanking her. Instead, you send policemen to her home? Like she's some common criminal? Yes, that's what she is. Unbelievable. Celeste shrieked. You know what, Victor? We'll see you in court. She's not giving you anything. That ring was a gift, and she's keeping that diamond as collateral for the emotional distress and humiliation you've caused her. You'll be hearing from our lawyer. She hung up. I just stared at my phone. Collateral for emotional distress. I hit record on my phone's call log. It's legal in my state with one-party consent, which is me. I called Detective Mills. Detective? Victor last name. Just wanted to give you an update. I spoke with Bianca and her mother Celeste. Yeah? She cooperating? No. Her mother just informed me that they are, and I quote, keeping that diamond as collateral for emotional distress. So they've admitted to having it, and they've stated their intent to keep it? Detective Mills was silent for a long time. Son, I'm gonna go talk to a judge. Stop contacting them, and save that call log. The demolition is proceeding. Final update. It's been 4 months, I'm exhausted. But I'm free. This didn't end in a big, flashy explosion. It ended in a series of grinding, bureaucratic, and soul-crushing legal procedures. So, after Celeste's brilliant collateral threat, Detective Mills got a warrant. It wasn't hard. He had my video confession, and now he had a taped call, which my lawyer confirmed was admissible, of her mother admitting they possessed the stolen property and intended to keep it. They served the warrant on Bianca's bank, popped open her safe deposit box, and there it was. One small plastic baggie containing one 2.2 carat E-color VVS1 diamond. The GIA inscription matched my certificate. Bianca was arrested and charged with grand larceny. This is where the realistic part of the story kicks in. It sucked. The police and the DA's office were not my allies. They were overworked. They saw this as a messy domestic case, even with the evidence. Bianca, a well-dressed, crying 30-year-old woman, looked like the victim to them, not the cold, calculating thief she was. Her family hired a shark of a lawyer. Their play was simple. It was a mistake, a silly prank. He's a vindictive, controlling ex. He's manipulating the system to punish her for leaving him. We hadn't even broken up yet when she stole it, but facts didn't matter. The entitlement from her and her family was nuclear. First, the failed work attack. I got a call from my firm's HR director. Victor, we received an anonymous complaint that you're unstable, using company time to harass an ex-partner, and creating a hostile environment. Thank God I'd been proactive. The day I filed the police report, I'd requested a meeting with my managing partner. I told him, my fiancée committed a felony. I'm reporting it. It's gonna be ugly. She is vindictive. I apologize in advance for any drama that spills over, but I'm handling it. My boss, an engineer to the core, just nodded. Keep your billing clean and don't let it affect the load calculations. So when HR called, I said, yes, that would be for my ex-fiancée, who is currently out on bail for grand larceny after stealing a $38,000 asset from me. Here's the police report number and the name of the DA handling the case. Please let me know if you need anything else. The complaint vanished. Then, the legal threats. Celeste's lawyer sent me a cease and desist, accusing me of harassment. My lawyer, yes, I had to get my own lawyer to navigate this, sent back a lovely letter that included a copy of the video and a transcript of Celeste's collateral phone call. The letters stopped. It dragged on for months. My diamond was in an evidence locker. The insurance claim was frozen. Finally, 2 weeks ago, we had the hearing. It wasn't a trial. Bianca's lawyer knew that video would destroy her in front of a jury. They were pushing for a plea deal. The deal: plead guilty to a lesser felony, return the property which was already in evidence, and in exchange, the DA would recommend probation, no jail time, given her clean record. But the deal hinged on one thing: my cooperation. Her lawyer requested a meeting. Me, my lawyer, Bianca, and her shark. She was diminished, pale, thin. The designer clothes looked baggy. Victor, her lawyer started, Bianca is prepared to plead guilty. She knows she made a terrible error in judgment. Bianca was just staring at her hands, crying, silently. She's scared. A felony conviction will ruin her career. She'll never work in marketing again. We're asking if you would be willing to speak to the judge on her behalf. Not to excuse her, but to frame it as a relationship dispute that spiraled, so the judge might be inclined to reduce it to a gross misdemeanor. No felony, just probation and restitution. I looked at her. Her shoulders were shaking. A prank, I said. That's what you called it. A joke. It was, she whispered, looking up. Her eyes were red. It started as a stupid prank, Victor. I was showing off for Keisha. And then you called the cops. And my mom, she reacted badly. I was gonna give it back. When? I asked. When were you gonna give it back, Bianca? You told Keisha it was your nest egg. You said I was a total dope. You didn't get a $1,200 moissanite for a one-night prank. I don't know, she wailed, tears streaming now. I was scared, I was stupid, but please, Victor, please don't let them ruin my life. I'll pay you back. I'll pay for the fake ring. I'll pay your lawyer. Please, you loved me once, didn't you? This was it. The moment of vulnerability. Not just hers, mine. I felt nothing, just tired, like looking at a collapsed building. I'm not going to speak on your behalf, I said. I'm not going to ask for leniency, and I'm not going to ask for jail time. Her face fell. I'm going to submit a victim impact statement, I continued, looking at her lawyer. It will be factual. It will state that you stole a $38,450 asset. It will state that when caught, you and your family conspired to keep it. It will include the video of you bragging about my stupidity. It will include the audio of your mother's threats. It will state factually the emotional and financial toll this has taken. What the judge decides to do with those facts is up to him. I am done. Bianca's sorry face evaporated. The entitlement, the real Bianca, flashed. You cold-hearted bastard, she hissed. You'd really let me be a felon? Over a rock? You're right, I said, standing up. It is just a rock, and you valued it more than you valued me. You made your choice. The consequences are just the structural load you failed to account for. My lawyer and I walked out. The resolution. The judge saw my statement, he saw the video, he heard the call. He was not happy. He accepted the plea deal, but just barely. Bianca was convicted of a felony, attempt grand larceny. She got 3 years of probation, 500 hours of community service, and a court-ordered restitution plan. She has to pay me back for my legal fees, the cost of the insurance investigation, Frank sent me a bill, and the $1,200 for the fake ring. It's $7,800 total. At $100 a month, I'll be paid back in about 6.5 years. The diamond is back in my possession. It's in my safe deposit box now. I canceled the insurance claim, I'm selling it, I'm taking a loss, but I don't care. I want it gone. Bianca, from what I've heard, did lose her job. That felony conviction is a permanent mark. She's living with Celeste. Keisha had to testify against her to avoid charges herself and is now no longer part of the family. I'm still in my condo, I'm still an engineer, I'm dating but cautiously. I checked for stress points. It wasn't a satisfying Hollywood revenge. It was a long, expensive, and painful process, but it was real. She didn't just make a mistake. She made a calculated, criminal choice. And now, for the rest of her life, she's living with the consequences. That's justice.